Right now to the woman who was among those first warning that there are limits to too big to fail, whipping out Minnesota Republican Congresswoman Michele Bachmann. Congresswoman Paul Volcker was kind of echoing your theme, got a little bit of press on that. Nick Brady was referring to that. Where do we draw the line? I mean, last year, as you know, Congresswoman, we apparently drew it at Lehman and there was hell to pay. So what do we do?
Well, I think we need to take into account that too big to fail is an issue that we do have to see the fallout from the way the federal government has held it, because it seems that government is in love with bailouts. And Paul Volcker mentioned this much today. And the one thing we can't have is government shielding favored companies from failure. That's just going to lead to more failure, and it looks like what the president is proposing to do is to codify and institutionalize bailout nation. That's not what the public wants, and it's very scary if we go down that road.
I got you, Congressman. Sorry, I was distracted by something here in the studio, but I did want to get back to this idea that we're so scared of seeing anything like we had last year that we'll do almost anything to avoid it. And I think there are many of your colleagues, ma'am, who seem to think, well, you know what, we bailed out these institutions, rescued them, whatever we did, and that seemed to do the trick. So if we even see a hint of this in the future, we'll do it again, because that seems to work. What do you make of that?
Well, in some ways, it's institutionalizing stupidity, because we know exactly what we're going to get. Because we're going to get people taking risks they have no business taking, and once again it will be privatizing profits, socializing losses. That isn't good for anyone.
Do you think $100 million is too much for someone who works at a bank or a brokerage to make?
It may very well be, but the bigger question is who will make that determination? Will the marketplace decide what compensation levels will be, or will it be a government-appointed pay-czar? I don't like the idea of the government having an appointed pay-czar to make the decision on compensation levels. They won't just end with the CEOs. They'll go all the way down to the man pushing the broom at every building, and that's not where we want to go. We don't want government getting involved in wage and price controls, and that's exactly where this will lead us.
Well, that's coming up on the agenda at this G20.
That's true. And again, I hope the United States will not be the leader for government control of not only just financial institutions, but of non-financial institutions as well. We won't be the leader anymore in the world if we diss free market capitalism.
Diss capitalism. I like the way you phrased that. All right, Congressman, good seeing you. Thank you.
Good to see you, Neil.